Today we're going to talk about the wicked and the divine, and of course we're going to do this as a 2-minute review. Let's go. Okay, my phone, ready, set, and go. Okay, so the general premise of this book is that you have these gods who come around every 90 years or so, but then a couple of years into that, they die. And this cycle just happens over and over again. And as you can imagine, things get pretty crazy because of that. We follow the gods during their most recent reincarnation, and we see how their story plays out as they figure out how they want to spend those couple of years. Okay, I think that's good enough for the premise. All right, so my thoughts about this book. I loved it. This book was so well written. It was super interesting. The thing that makes this book so great in my mind is the characters. You have all these characters who, turn into gods. That's the other thing, is that these characters start as normal people, then they turn into these gods, and then they die. But that's aside from the point. So you have all these different people who turn into gods, and they're all very different people, and they're all very well constructed and very deep characters, in the sense that none of them are truly good, none of them are truly evil, even though some of them kind of get close to either one of those extremes, but they all are kind of mixed and they feel very real because of that. I absolutely love that aspect of this book. The other thing I liked about this book is the lore. I gave you a little breakdown in my premise of kind of what happens with these gods, but man, it goes so far beyond that. And this is something that the latter half of the compendium really starts to explore. It talks about how this 90-year cycle thing kind of came into play. And we also go back and look at some of the previous reincarnations of the gods to kind of see how that connects to today and the bigger kind of story of these gods as a whole. Real quickly, talking about the art. The art in this book is just absolutely astounding. I loved it. I don't know what else to say about it. I think that the colors were super well. The colors were super well done. I think that I don't know. It was just good all around. I'm on a time crunch here, so I'm struggling to put it into words. The art was good, though. I'll leave it at that. All right, so giving this book a final rating, I'm going to give this book 90 out of 90 years. I'm not going to draw 90 years on the screen, but you get my idea. 90 out of 90 years, because it is just so good. If you haven't read it yet, you should absolutely do so. I have the compendium version. I think that's one of the better ways to read it, outside of having this giant book that's super heavy and a little bit awkward, but overall, fantastic book. You should definitely check it out. Wow, 2 minutes and 45 seconds. That was bad, but you know what? It was worth it because this book is just so good. I wanted to give it its time, and I know I kind of rambled through parts of this, so if you have any questions about the book, or if you really like this book as well, feel free to let us know down in the comments. That way you can maybe be a little bit more coherent than I was, because you'll have time to type. And if you didn't like this book, let us know that as well down in the comments, and once again, you can be a bit more coherent than I was. Anyway, I think that's about all I have for today, so I will see you next time.